not a tarot card reading. This is just me addressing what had happened, what went on. So as you guys know, it's been several weeks since I moved. I am so happy. I am so peaceful. You guys have even commented, Jamie, you're simply glowing. Yes. So let me break it down. I was living at a place called Avistar at Copperfield in Houston, Texas. When I moved there in 2019, it was a different crowd. So when I moved there, my youngest was not school aged yet. So we would travel 6 months out of the year. You know, I'd go see because my family lived out of state. I would go see my family. You know, we like to travel. We like to go places. As you guys know, I've documented it here on my YouTube channel. We're in California. We're in Las Vegas. We're in New York. We're in Florida. We're in Tennessee. We're in Virginia. We go places. You know, we like to travel. So once he started school, I could only travel during the vacation times, the school vacation time. So we had to schedule everything around his schooling, which is fine. That's what happens when you have children that are school aged, right? So I never really talked to anybody in the complex because, as you guys know, A, I'm an introvert. B, my whole family lived on the other side of the United States. C, the only people that I would ever hang out with was my ex-husband. And, you know, that's it. When you have special needs, I have a special needs adult child, and then I have a child that does not have a disability. So when you're a parent, especially if it's your first child that has a disability, that can be isolating. I am an introvert, and so is my oldest. So I didn't start doing extrovert things until my youngest came along, because he is very much so an extrovert. So I've tried new things. I've gone places, done things that I never would have if I hadn't had my second, right? So, you know, I was building my YouTube channel, as I am now. I'm still building it. We're still building. But every year I became more and more successful, right? So I was able to do more things, have more things. I did not have cameras until a few years ago. That's when I started noticing very delusional and psychotic things. That's when certain things were being picked up on the camera, such as, I wish I had the money that she has. I'd hear that on my ring cam from my neighbor. I'll be posting all the videos on my Facebook, Jamie Zebra Star. I've just been a little bit busy. I bought a home. I've been getting my home, settled, and, yes, it's a much larger space than what I came from. It's about 4 times the size of what we were in. So yeah, and I've got a lot of stuff. The cross-country movers came and dropped everything off. Now it's my job to figure out where all that stuff goes. So I've been a little busy, but I will be posting all the videos, all of them, from over the years, from everything, big and small. All the videos are getting posted. Now, I will tell you this much. Now, please understand that I take no issue with anyone, rich, poor, short, tall, fat, skinny, whatever race, whatever you guys, if you guys have followed my channel, you guys know I do not discriminate against. I don't care about those things. So how I care is how you treat me and how you treat others. To me, that's the only thing that's important. That's the only thing that matters. Honestly, that's it. Right? I am 5'7". I wear high heels every day on top of being 5'7". So I'm a pretty big girl, pretty big girl, wide and height, width and height, right? So the apartment complex that I lived in, which I think it's criminal if you I'm not sure how they're getting in. Because if they're all illegal immigrants and they have no documentations, I'm not sure how a gigantic apartment complex can be housing all of those illegal. I don't know how. I'm not the government. Don't tell me how. But I heard ICE is offering $700 a head. So I'm not calling immigration, but the place is called Avistar at Copperfield. I'm not calling immigration, but questions should probably be asked with all the criminal activity going on there that's being done by the illegal immigrants. As you guys have seen on my YouTube channel, the man trying to break in, the other drunk man at my door, all of those are undocumented people in the United States. I've got no problem with people who are undocumented. I've got no problem with anybody anywhere. I have a problem with criminals, though, that shouldn't be here in the first place. That I do have a problem with, okay? So back to my height and weight, why it's important. I would literally step outside of my house and just would look straight ahead. If you are my height and you're looking straight ahead, you are not going to be able to see people who are 4'10", 4'9", 4'8", 5 foot. You're not, I can't see them unless I literally look down. You know, I have a special needs child and a toddler. I have to focus on my family. I cannot acknowledge people that I cannot see. And that's not me being like, oh, I'm better. No, I literally couldn't see them. I would hear voices and then I would look. I'd look down. Oh, hello. Good morning. Good morning. On my Ring Cam, they would say things like, she's got another package. Oh my God, how much does she spend every day at ordering things online? Did you see that fruit tray that they were eating? I bet she didn't even chop up that fruit herself. I bet she ordered it from some specialty store. No, I chop up my own fruits and vegetables. I do. Not that it's anybody's business. My neighbor was literally eating armadillos that they found dead on the side of the road. I mentioned this in my Sunday messages a few months ago. Please, again, I don't have a problem with anybody. You know, eat what you got to eat, right? You know, if anything, not for nothing, their immune systems are stronger than us. We eat some bad Chinese and we're sick for a week. Eat at McDonald's and you might lose your life. They're eating roadkill armadillos every night for a week. And they're just fine. Just fine. If you guys are hearing noises, my special needs child, he is trying to learn how to talk. So he makes interesting noises. Okay. And then we're grilling steak. You know, we're getting fajitas. We're grilling. We're grilling burgers. You know, I'm an American. I should be allowed to eat what I want, right? It's my money. They're like, oh, she thinks she's better than us because she's buying meat from the store. I can't, like, no offense, I cannot eat dead armadillos from the side of the road. I can't do it. I'm sorry, but I cannot. I cannot eat possums dead on the side of the road. I'm not going to eat a dead vulture. I can't. I'm sorry. My immune system is not that strong. I mean, I don't have a weakened immune system, but I believe that the children and I would have a weakened immune system if we were eating roadkill. And again, I'm not bashing anybody. Please, nobody and if you get me wrong, I don't care either. If you guys want to hate me because I'm not eating an armadillo from the side of the road, then hate me. Fine, hate me. Now, with the tax bracket that I'm in, I will admit fault here. I had no business living in that complex. After about 2021, I should not have been at that apartment complex. I should not have been there. That was me being greedy. I'm going to give an example, and I am in no way on this person's level. Let me give an example. That's like Jake Paul moving to a trailer park. Nothing wrong with trailer. Please get what I'm saying. Please understand this. You know, these are people that are living in, I lived in a townhouse all by myself, just me and my kids. Whereas I had neighbors living in 1-bedroom apartments, 2-bedroom apartments with 13, 14, 16 people, right? Not able to make it. And again, I'm not bashing people who are not able to make it. Just a second, just a moment. And again, I'm not bashing anyone. If I was in that situation, I would have to do what I got to do, right? We all would, right? We do what we have to do when we have to do it, right? So please understand, I'm not bashing anyone. And then there's me getting brand new furniture delivered. Then there's me getting, $6,000 massage chairs delivered. And then, We went a little crazy with the Easter stuff, with the Christmas decorations. And I'm seeing people on the camera saying, why did she spend all of her money on that stuff? Why is she doing this? Why is she doing that? Oh, we saw her YouTube channel. Oh, they went to Disney again. I'm like, they're lit. I think that they don't know that the audio is like pristine on those Ring cameras. But I'm hearing the people walk by doing this. Who does she think she is? She's got a new dress every day. Did you see those piles of clothes she just bought? Did you see this? Did you see that? She's so selfish. And some of you might, how do they know about your, because of the, I do lots of readings for people in the apartment complex. I still do, but I don't live there anymore. But the maintenance guy, so this is something that's always confused me. A man being envious over a woman he doesn't know's success. So George, aka Jorge, I guess got envious because I'm successful and decided to just go around the apartment complex saying weird things. I'm not quite sure what he said to the men, though, because the men would be at my door at 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, showing you guys the videos of them trying to break in. But every person that Jorge would talk to, I would see him talking to, and then they would all look at me. Ever since that happened, every time that would happen, the men would just be at my door in the middle of the night. So I don't know if Jorge told them that I would sleep with them for a peso, for a half of a peso, for a quarter of a peso. I think a peso is 50 cents in American money. I don't know if you guys know how much what is it, 10 cents, a penny? I don't know, but I think he told these people that I would sleep with them for a peso. I think that's what was said, because all of a sudden, the men were at my door. Now, some of you are like, I blame the manager. Why didn't the manager? I shared the messages on my Facebook page. I feel like the manager was doing what she could do without getting in trouble, because her supervisor literally told her that that she cannot restrict these men and these people from being, these criminals from being at my door. That she cannot restrict. So a lot of you that wanted to help me call phone numbers and do those things, I've already emailed those people. They know, you guys have seen the videos. I moved out. So now everyone's calling immigration. Everybody's calling whatever agencies that they need to call. Because this stuff can't continue over there. Like, you can't have an entire complex of illegal immigrants committing crimes nonstop, day and night, drinking and driving, beating their wives, abusing their children, sleeping with underage. Like, this can't continue. It can't. So, from what I understand, everyone that has called ICE, they're not taking calls, but you have to do it through the computer. And if you leave your real name and your real information, you get money per, I think it's like $700 a head. I'm not telling anybody to do that, but Jocelyn would still be here. That mother of 5, her life was taken in the park. Now her 5 children are motherless. There's crimes that don't have to be committed. Thank God I left, or I would have been another Jocelyn, or I would have been another one of those women that were minding their business that were harmed. I was next. My issue with that place is I was just worried that I was going to be, harmed by any of those men that were on my doorstep, any of the men that you guys saw on video that were trying to break in the middle. Like, that was my fear. Like, I'm used to people being envious of me. I'm used to people stalking me. I'm used to people being obsessed. That'll never change. I thought that you get to a certain age and people would be like, she ain't nobody, but that's not true. I guess into my 90s, I guess into my hundreds, people are still going to be stalking me and wondering where the hell I am and what I'm like. I guess. I don't. I'm like literally meditating, making YouTube videos, and taking care of my children. To me that equals boring, but I guess, I don't know. I guess I'm special. I don't know. I would have to be. So as far as Ruth Wayne goes, there's already an investigation going on. Everything's going on. I have eyes and ears still in the complex. They're gaining more and more intel and information. So it's still like ongoing. Like I'm not asking for it. They're sending it. Like I'm moving on to bigger, better things. More of the videos will be posted. Like I said, I've just been busy. I'm like literally unpacking, you know, because remember I had storage units. So not only did all of my, like the stuff that was in the townhouse got delivered, but also all of the belongings that were in the storage units got delivered. Now I have to handle all of that. So it's like a lot of that. Plus I could not go on vacation since January, since I got back from California, because I was scared that they were going to rob me. My cards kept telling me like they're waiting for you to go on vacation so they can go in and steal all of your stuff. That's what they were going to do. So I like, now that, you know, I'm getting my house unpacked, everything, now I can literally go on vacation in peace with my kids. Now I can go, you know, my mom's not getting any younger. You know, my family members are getting up there in age. I have 7 brothers, 3 sisters, as you guys know. I've got, you know, the kids have aunts, they've got uncles, they've got cousins that I want to see my cousins. I want to see my aunts, my uncles. I want to see my mom. They want to see their grandma. Like, I should be able to just go on vacation without fear. And I know anybody can get robbed anywhere, but like, you know, it's getting a little intense over there, as you guys know. Like, yeah. So anytime I decorate, they would get all envious and weird. And I'm like, why should I have to like not do the fun things I like to do because of these people? Like, why should I have to wear the same outfit every day just to make them feel comfortable? And I don't want to be disrespectful. I'm not sure if it's a trend or what. But it was so hard for me to tell any of them apart because they all looked alike. And I'm Black and people say that we look alike too. So please, nobody get offended. But like, I literally couldn't tell the difference. The office manager had to like, be like, no, that's not the same person. This is this person, but this person has no reason to be at your door because that's Ruth Wang's boyfriend. That's Ruth Wang's son. That's Ruth Wang's underage boyfriend. To me, they all looked, I couldn't tell them. I thought they were all the same person. The women, I thought they were all the same women, and the men, I thought they were all the same men. And please, nobody get offended. I could not tell the difference. Honestly, I could not. So it was so hard to like literally, if it wasn't for the office manager, I would have thought it was all the same person. But it was groups and groups and groups. No, it was dozens of them. And when I showed her the week where I would have 27 men pass, like, guys, keep in mind this. There's only 4 units in the section that I live. I live in the town, like, so there's townhouses 1, 2, 3, and 4. On the end of the townhouse of the first one is a parking lot. On the other end of a townhouse is a walkway that leads to the parking lot. There's no reason for 27 men to be at my door. Like literally it's not even the manager was like, who are all those men? Do they live here? I'm going to ask the maintenance man, who are all those people? She goes, are those, do you know? I'm like, no, I don't. That's why I'm here. I don't know them. No, I don't. She goes, it's weird how they walk at your door. They stop at your door. They turn around, stay at your door, and they walk away from your door. I'm like, that's why I'm here. I find it strange too. I don't know who these people are. I don't know. That's what I'm here for. She goes, I don't recognize any of them. And then it's only when I started posting on YouTube, it started to slow down a little bit. But then a man moved in on the end who speaks English. A tall, slender man with glasses that speaks English moved in. As soon as he moved in, and he would literally speak to the men that were going by. He would literally speak to them. Hey, what's up? He'd greet them in English and in Spanish. I would see them on camera go, "Hi," and then they would never come back. So it was something about that guy being there that stopped it. Also, the people that lived across the way, downstairs, it was a black girl, a white man, they're foreign, and a baby. I would have men at my door, like I said, in the wee hours of the morning. For some reason, that man would be at his patio, like watching TV or something. And that stopped a lot of the men from coming in the middle of the night. They would notice that he'd be out there and they wouldn't come. So everybody in the complex watches my channel. If you guys can get these messages, if you guys want to, please tell, I don't want to get emotional. Please tell that man that was downstairs on his radio, the man that's with the black lady, the guy that lives down across from where I used to live with the black lady, and they have a baby. Please tell him I said, thank you so much for doing that. I don't know why he was out there in the middle of the night, because he didn't used to do that. I don't know if he noticed the traffic and he was trying to protect his own family or what the reason was, but just say thank you. I was able to get rest because he was out there. And then if anybody knows that guy that lives on the end, tell him thank you so much for moving in there. Yes, he was only there for about a week or two before I moved out, but that week or two that I was there with him there, I felt so safe because it knocked the traffic down by 90% and probably stopped me from being assaulted. I lied to the manager and said I would move out May 30th. I lied to her because I was scared she was going to tell the maintenance men, and the maintenance men would spread it around, and then the illegals would be like, oh, let's assault her and we'll just jump the border or we'll just stay out of the complex until she moves. I was just scared of what was going to happen. I didn't know if they were going to hurt the kids. I didn't know if they were going to harm me. I didn't know what was happening. So I left like lickety-split in a week. I was ready to go. Yeah. And I kept making videos saying, oh my gosh, I bought so much Easter stuff. Oh my God, the Easter stuff. Because they were all chattering, is she moving? Is she moving? So I was, because they watched my videos. So I was trying to, even though I did go crazy with the Easter stuff. I didn't go that crazy, but I did go crazy. Yeah. Yeah, because the cross-country movers were coming to take everything. So I had like literally 3 days to get what was going to go with the cross-country movers on that, like to get it to the storage unit so they could load it up on their trucks. And then the stuff that was just going to go like right along with the, so it was like the 18-wheeler cross-country movers to get 4 10 by 15 storage units worth of items that way. And then there was just the house movers that do cross-country, which is way cheaper, like quarter of the price cheaper, to get everything the other way. Yeah. So everything got handled. You guys, I was exhausted. I slept for like 4 days straight. The kids and I, we were all exhausted. You know, the place had bad energy because of all the obsession and the stalking. But yeah, I should have been moved, and I do take responsibility. Just like you guys told me back in 2020 when I had that incident with the stalker, you guys told me, Jamie, you have no business being on a dating site. You're literally on YouTube. You can't just go on a dating site. You could attract all sorts of weirdos. At first, I didn't quite understand what you guys meant. Now I do. I can't just move to the hood. You know, I loved that I was paying only $1,000 a month. I loved that. Like, to me, that was a flex. But with all the dangers that came with it, no. You know, thank God nothing happened to me, because I literally had no business living over there. They literally had MS-13 graffitied on the property. It was bad. It was bad. So I would even say in some of my videos, I'm like, I'm not sure if I'm a part of a gang or not, because they're spraying MS-13. Is there a certain color I'm supposed to wear? Like, what am I supposed to, how do I comply so I don't get in trouble? Like, I don't know what I'm involved in now. If this is MS-13 territory, I don't know. Like, what am I supposed to do? Is there a bandana? Is there a symbol? Oh, and they would get so angry. So, when it'd be like the 4th of July or whatnot, I would decorate, with the Star Spangled Banner and, other things, and have my flags and my, my red, white, and blue bathing suit and, you know, be grilling and doing my thing, they'd be like, she's an American. She thinks she's better than us. So I had to like keep it on the low, even though it's obvious you're not allowed. They can have their flags on their windshields and hanging from their rear vision mirrors, but I'm not allowed to be an American openly in America, in Texas. Huh? What? And again, I do speak a lot of Spanish. I understand a lot of Spanish, but it's not perfect. But I didn't really want to talk to those people because if I'm already hearing them on the camera saying all the things that they're like being upset about my decorations, being upset about the clothes I wear, what I buy, you know, if they're already, why would I want to converse with people like that? If I already know that people are envious of me and they're pocket watching me, I don't want to conversate. So I literally would tell the office manager, listen, if anybody says that I'm stuck up, please let them know I do not speak the language, A, and B, I'm an introvert. I don't do drama. I don't do gossip. I don't, you know, and again, I'm not judging anybody, but these women had nothing to do over there. They like literally had nothing to do. All they would do is sit literally on the sidewalk and gossip for hours. For hours, you guys, just talking crap for hours. For hours. I would like go to drop my son off at school, run errands, come back hours, and they're still on the sidewalk where the bus picked up their kids, gossiping in groups. I would go to leave in the evening to go pick up my son. They're still in their pajamas, and they're still out there gossiping in the same spot. I'm not judging people, but what do they like? And again, it's none of my business what they do all day. If they don't want to do anything all day, that's their business, right? But I'm literally cooking, cleaning, handling meltdowns, car lines, running. I'm like doing a week's worth of stuff every day in one day. And I'm just like, what the hell? But I'm away from there. Everything is as close to perfect as it can possibly get. Life is good. Yes. So nobody worry about me, but that's kind of like the rundown. But again, I heard it's $700 a head. Avistar at Copperfield. I don't know if the manager's gonna. So as you guys know, I've got a lot of different types of people on my channel. So the police officers that are on my channel and the people that work for immigration, what they told me is that the manager must be in on it if they're allowing illegal immigrants to live there, and if they're allowing 13 to 14 people in a 1-bedroom and a 2-bedroom, that they're involved. Like they have to be involved. Like they got to be getting like some sort of money, some sort of cut. So they said that that's, you know, there's a label for that, and I think YouTube says you can't use that label, but it starts with a T and it ends with a G. Yeah. But those are, you know, none of them have any documentation. You know, when I first moved there years ago, I had neighbors that were American. I had, you know, and not everybody has to be an American. But I think that they should have some sort of documentation, and especially if they're like engaging in criminal activity every day, all day, well, that's dangerous. You know, I know everybody's got different parenting styles, but I mean, do better. Do better. I would, you know, there's that man that was on my doorstep with the beer, he has a 14-year-old daughter. And that 14-year-old girl, like the week that I was packing and left, I was outside more. And she was sitting on the lap and French kissing at least 4 to 5 different boys. Like straddling them, sitting outside, you know, straddling them, French kissing them. The boys had the hands up the shirt. I mean, she didn't have much going on because she's a child, right? But I mean, still, If that's what she's doing in public, what is she doing privately? But again, that's none of my business. Like, they don't care that they're like, it seems like they don't care if their kids have teen pregnancies. I mean, dad's on my doorstep dead drunk with beer. So dad's got I'm dad's priority. And then I said in the Sunday messages about him staring at me for 45 minutes. So he's like at his truck and I see his arm moving, like I didn't see, I could, because he was at the truck. I didn't see it out, but I'm assuming, but he was like intensely watching me for 45 minutes. Like, I have the video footage of him doing that, for not taking his eyes off of me, like literally at the truck. Yeah, I'm just like minding my own business. I'm like occasionally turning to see if he went away yet. So literally at the 45-minute mark, that's what the camera showed, is that he walked, I guess he got his fill, he got enough, and he decided to walk away. Yeah. Collective. Yeah. So you tell me. And that's the same child that's active with all those different boys. Yeah, that's not the girl that was intoxicated, that was falling down on my doorstep. The one that I had to contact the guidance counselor at that's a different, this whole, and again, when I was explaining the story before, this is the norm over there. They do not watch their children. Their children are free to do anything, literally anything. Nobody's watching their kids over there. Nobody. All right, guys, JamieZebra23.com. Ta-ta for now. Love you long time.